day. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday. What's today? June. What is today? I don't know. I'm thinking it's the 3rd. Yeah, it's the 3rd. It's June 3rd. Today is June 3rd. So good morning. Did you guys sleep good? I did. I didn't sleep too good like Sunday night going into Monday. And so I found myself at my desk yesterday. I heard a couple of, I had to, snap at it a couple of times. I had to get up. It's like, oh snap, I went to bed early. Well, as early as I could last night, probably about 10:30. I was down for the count. I was like, I know Sophia gonna be up all night. Not me. Not me. But yeah, I don't have to worry about her burning the house down. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I did teach her how to make, how to make a pancake. Like I said before, y'all already saw her busting her dishes down. And so she knew how to make a pancake. And I taught her how to use the stove. We got a gas stove. So I told her she got to wait for it to click a couple of times. And then she can, put the butter on. I told her, move the butter around, put your pancake on there. Wait till it bubbles up. Flip it. You ready to go. Turn it off. Get to eating. But yeah. So I'm still needing to recoup some sleep. But y'all be able to get at least another extra hour tomorrow. Come on. Time for this CRV anymore. But yeah, so what is going on, y'all? What I know is going on. I know, previously I have been asking y'all about whether or not y'all been going to the store. And I still want to know, have y'all been going to the store? Because while the tariffs may not be 145%, that's such a ridiculous number. Like, what? They really out here playing a game, but now they're 50%, which is still high as hell. Meanwhile, we're being gaslit, being told eggs are down, groceries are down, gas is down, and what's pissing me off every time I see any reporter ask him about it, no one ever pushes back and says, hello, that's not true. I just went to the store yesterday and it's not down. Eggs are not down. He's like, everybody's buying eggs. No, everybody is not. No, we're not. No, we're not. I just went to a barbecue and I wanted deviled eggs and I said, I can't pay the $5. Literally, I can't. And like I said, I don't see nobody selling Lucy eggs. So if I just want one egg, how much for one egg? Anyway, the point is, y'all still need to get to the store. Y'all still need to get to the store. The housing market, they got more sellers than buyers right now, but the rate is still not where we want it to be. So it just depends on how much you can afford and whether or not you really need to pull the trigger. Because you want one or two things to be. Really, ideally, we want the rate and the price to be low. But if you got a decent credit score, you should be okay, and you probably could really negotiate. And unfortunately, you would be, coming off of somebody else's unfortunate situation. But again, that's the American way. So, because they totally are getting ready to come up off of all of our, we are literally got robbed in the last 100 days, the whole country. Everybody hands is up in the air. Everybody like, oh God, please. But yeah, so we getting robbed right now. But whatever. Speaking of being robbed, well, let me just say this real quick. They had another mass shooting out here in Georgia, Appalachia High School. So sad, so terrible. And of course, I ain't heard from the NRA or heard that they said anything in quite some time. I'm talking some months. Maybe I'm not paying attention. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. But I ain't heard from the NRA. But what I do know is it's time for me to join. Since I can't beat them. Since I can't beat them, I need to see how much a membership is. Because, I'm interested in my Second Amendment right. Don't get me wrong. They just need to have some more. They just need to add some more laws and do a couple of more restrictions, especially for the age. But I believe in my Second Amendment right to carry. for sure. Granted, I don't need the Second Amendment right to defend myself. I don't need a license to carry or none of that. I have it, but it's not needed. Like, it's not needed for anybody. Nobody needs permission to defend themselves. They make it seem like you do, and of course, depending on how you look, all that good stuff. But ultimately, we live in a town where it's ask questions later. So that's what we'll do. We'll ask questions later. But for now, yeah, y'all get out there and make sure y'all exercising y'all Second Amendment rights. That's right. Go ahead and get out there. It don't take much to get a gun. As you can see, that's the problem that we're all having. It don't take much to get a gun. So just go to the store and go get one as if you at the grocery store. Right at Walmart. Let me grab 2 of these. Let me get that Glock right there. Yeah, let me get that Glock. Yeah, and that 24 pack of ammo. Let me get that to go with it. Too easy. Too easy. So since it's easy, I'm going to encourage all people that look like me, join them. Join them. Just don't never pull it out unless you're ready to squeeze. That's the biggest thing when it comes to gun safety. Okay? Unless you're ready to squeeze, you should not be having it, waving it around, and you shouldn't be doing all that. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, I'm on the highway now. It's a little more packed than it was yesterday, but 7:30, I should get there on time. So I saw this guy on YouTube saying that black businesses need to do better. And here's what I will say about black businesses. I do patronize black businesses, and I'm always looking to patronize a black business, for sure. I absolutely understand and 100% agree when a black business owner feels like, don't try to get a discount because you're black, or, think that you could treat my business any less than, or as if they're not competing because they're black. I agree with that 100%. But I also think that it's important for black businesses to know that if you are in fact competing, if you don't want to be asked for a discount, then you need to be answering calls timely. You need to be having the product that you're claiming that you sell. You need to not have an attitude. And equally, you need to not expect that because you're black, that you're going to get a pass for anything that you don't do that's at the level of competition. Because that's not okay. That's not okay. And as a black person, I understand the barriers that are in place and the extra struggles that we have as a community. But when the do better part comes in, that's the part where we have to do better. With attitude, not overpricing, and realizing that you don't get a pass because you're black. I won't ask for a discount. I'm ready to pay the price. The price is the price, and I understand that. I don't have a problem with the price. I just have a problem with the expectation being that because I'm black, that if there's any mishap, that the blackness is going to help with me being like, I'm gonna let this go. Okay, because if my blackness can't get me a discount, then your blackness can't get you, me not cursing you out, carrying on, and giving your business a bad review. If it's not okay, it's not okay. And blackness is not enough, because blackness is not where I draw the line, to be honest. You know what I mean? So black people can be criticized by anybody that's observant. You know what I mean? I know a lot of times when people outside of the community are saying things or they're making an observation, a lot of times black people are like, mind your business, don't worry about what black people are doing. On one hand, that's 150% true. Like, beat it, get out of here, what are you doing? But at the same time, they're a person walking around as a human, observing, and sometimes the assessment is correct. You know what I mean? And the idea that no one is supposed to say anything, bogus. That's not reality. That's not the reality we live in. So as far as black business is concerned, I think we all can use to do better as a community. And I don't think we should use our blackness as a pass to do anything or to see, you know what I mean? Like, that can't be the pass for me to get a discount, and it can't be a pass for you to not give your service at 100%. I think that's something for all black businesses to consider and to realize if you can't do it, you likely are not going to get that energy back. So it's giving, be the change you want to see. You know what I mean? Make sure your service and your product is where it needs to be at the level, and you can certainly demand, you know what I mean, that no, your blackness, again, that's not where we draw the line. That's not going to be enough. And that's just that. So, but that's what I'll say about that. Okay, am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? So, but yeah, so, but did y'all see, oh my God, did y'all see, the woman who, like, I guess her husband, or her baby daddy or whatever, is like filming her, saying that she's dirty. They got 3 kids. They've been together 11 years. They got 3 kids, and he keeps saying her house is dirty. Her house is dirty. That he moved in with her. They've been together 11 years. They got 3 kids, and apparently the toilet was dirty, and she's gonna go viral because the toilet is dirty. And you're thinking, why is the toilet dirty when you standing there? You right here. Don't you use this toilet? You got that going on, and then you got the second one going on where he's filming her, peep the trend, he's filming her, and he's telling her how he's laying down. And her point is, when you get off work, you don't get to come home and go straight to bed and start laying down and chilling. Like, when you get off work, it's stuff that needs to be done at the house. We got kids, we got to clean up, we got homework, we got dishes, we got dinner. And he was like, well, since when do you get to tell me when to go to bed? You see? She never told you about when to go to bed. And so he's talking about, well, I worked all day. So did she. And so you watch that. You watch the one with the guy calling her dirty. They've been together 11 years. This other couple been together like 6 or 7 years. Both of these men are filming the women, trying to shame them about what they're not doing at the house. Okay. Hey, Chris. And so these men are up there shaming the women about what they're not doing at the house. And it's like, and then I saw another one. You know how, like, once you start looking at certain stuff, your algorithm starts putting other things in your feed. And so there's this man up there. Now, all these people are black. And there's this man up there talking about how women these days are lazy. They're lazy, and we're not like our grandmothers, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my God, for the 11th time. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was trapped. Okay? She was trapped. She was a prisoner. And if she could have left, she would have. I feel like these men don't want to acknowledge and deal with first things first. There were literally laws in place that did not allow women to do anything. Okay? However, black women always worked. So this idea that we were homemakers and stay at home, whatever, nah, that ain't never been the case. Black women always had to work. But more importantly, lazy? How the hell are we lazy? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. But more importantly, again, you're getting laziness mixed up with prisoners. Okay? With being a prisoner. I'm not lazy because I don't want to cook and clean my house. I want to hire some help. And if I got somebody living with me, we hiring help. Because I don't want you to think that that's my job. So that's what the other man was saying. Like, this is women's work. And I'm the one mowing the lawn and fixing the car. Sir, you're not a mechanic, okay? Okay? You're not even a lawn service. Please. You're cutting the grass because you live at this house and the grass needs to be cut. Okay? You're fixing the car because if you don't, some other man will likely be the one fixing it. Okay? If men built the world, then men need to complain to men about what's going on and what the problem is. The problem is y'all had women hemmed up like prisoners, and now that we don't have to do it and we have an option not to, now we're supposed to be looked at as lazy. You know, I'm never going to go back and forth with no man about whether or not I'm lazy or whether or not what's woman's work. for me, women's work will always be whatever I decide I'm doing. I don't feel obligated to do any of the things from back in the day. Okay, so then the argument becomes, so then don't expect a man to. I won't. I don't. If I need something done, I'll pay for somebody to do it. Whether it's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. If I call for a plumber and a woman comes out, I just need it fixed. Okay, if a fire happens and a woman firefighter can save me, just get me up out of here. Okay, I don't have time to be going back and forth about gender for any reason, because the only reason why women ain't been in these industries for years is because men kept them out. And we still have industries that men will not hire women to do and feel like women should not do. Okay? We also have industries where men feel like they're not doing it. They literally feel like it's women's work. And so the indoctrination that we all have is true. And you have to just be willing to, get that out your mind. You have to do the work so that you can bring that indoctrination down, certain expectations down. As a woman, there is no job set up just for me to do that only I can do, especially as it pertains to housework or rearing children. It's one thing to have them, and that's a whole other conversation. But rearing children, cleaning up, cooking, that's not women's work. That's something everybody has to do. And all parties involved should be appreciated for any work that they're doing inside of their house. But it shouldn't be expected as if it's some sort of gender role. I don't believe in those kind of gender roles. For sure, my daughter is going to be... Somebody seeing my daughter get old enough to, do whatever. I want her to be confused when somebody think that just because she's a female, a woman, a girl, a teenager, a young... any of that. I want her to be confused as to why they think she's supposed to do it. It's one thing for everybody to do. Everybody can participate in being clean, keeping the house, and making sure they eat. But it's certainly not her job to make sure of anything. Whoever lives there is going to be your job. Whoever lives there, it's your job to make sure it happens. And that's just it. Dishes and all that. If you want to come up with a plan for how you're going to split up, chores and things like that, that's fine. But the idea that it's somebody's particular job based on gender is bogus. It's bogus and it's not true. And like I said, I don't believe that. I don't subscribe to that channel. And so that's not something I'm going to pass down, even inadvertently, to my daughter, because that's how much I don't believe it or care about it. That it's not even going to be passed down to her by mistake. That ain't going to happen. She needs to know cooking and cleaning has to be done regardless. But see, all that can be eliminated if you don't live with nobody. Then you ain't got to worry about it. Then you don't have to have an argument about a gender role. You just pay your own damn bills and leave me the hell alone. Okay? And let my dishes be in the sink for as long as I want them to be in there. Because I ain't got to worry about nobody coming to get them. Or, like I said, if you got money, which most of us do not, you can pay somebody. Look at me parked at work 15 minutes early. But I thought that was interesting that you got these guys up here trying to embarrass their woman who they won't leave, and instead are trying to change. And that's something as women we deal with all the time with men trying to get us to don't try to change me. And that's the truth too. That's the truth too. You meet somebody right now, or if you're with somebody, if you can't accept how they are right now and imagine that this is just how it's going to be, if you can't accept it, you need to do something about it and not be trying to convince somebody to change. Because again, we have to remember how old we are. Okay? There's certain things about me that's not changing. It's just not. I have to be accepted. You got to accept me. If you don't accept me, then you don't accept me. And that's okay. And I have to be okay with that, especially knowing that it's things about me that's not going to change. I'm not going to make the effort. I'm not going to do the work to change certain things about me because I'm good with it. And if certain things that I do doesn't benefit, if it's not to the benefit of someone else, then it's not to the benefit of someone else. It's okay. You know what I mean? Because I'm definitely not living my life for the benefit of anyone else. And I'm too old. I'm older. You know what I mean? I'm older than I was last year. That's for sure. But still, you know what I mean? The point is, you got to just be able to accept the reality. We got to live in reality and stop letting our opinion be the reason that we don't know what the hell going on and you sounding stupid just because of what you think. When the truth is, you ain't done no thinking. When you ain't done no thinking, then it's always my opinion, my opinion. You got to try to be a critical thinker and try to go past a certain point. And don't let it just be your opinion. Because everyone has an opinion. As they say, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. So, and more importantly, nobody cares. You know what I mean? In order for somebody to even consider what you're saying, it's going to have to be more than your opinion. It has to be more than your opinion. Because the truth is, nobody cares even if it's not your opinion. We live in a time right now where the truth is just not a part of the reality people are trying to live in. And that's not, like I said, I'll never subscribe to that channel. I live in reality, and that's how I'm going to operate, as if I understand the assignment. As if I understand the assignment and not allow my opinion about the assignment to be the reason why I'm pretending the assignment is not there. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, as far as that relationship stuff is concerned, it's just trippy. And, you know, watching things like that, seeing people's opinion, you know, men calling women lazy, especially knowing while I'm trying to deconstruct, it's like I don't subscribe to that channel, and I will never feel bad about me trying to deconstruct ideas that negatively affect me and therefore be passed down to my daughter inadvertently, because I'm allowing myself to continue to be indoctrinated behind ideas that I don't agree with, and that I'm not going to acquiesce to. So, you know, but yeah, it was just interesting to see those men filming the women and complaining about the house being clean or who's going to do the cleaning. Both of them live there. Both of them have kids. Both of them been together for a significant amount of time. Two completely different scenarios, but the man is just, you know what I'm saying, feeling like, you need to be doing this, you're the one supposed to do this, I pay bills. And both of them are like, I pay bills, I work. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And so with that, it's like, yeah, when you pay bills and you work and you live by yourself, yeah, you ain't got nobody to complain about that stuff too. Same thing though. Shut the hell up, because we can either hire somebody to do this, or one of us can do it. If you see trash right there, you can pick it up. You don't have to wait and say, I didn't do that. That's not my trash. But it's your house. And it's trash in your house. And so, you know, things like that could be discussed. Chores can be rotated. There's a lot of ways to solve what a lot of people would like to consider a problem. That's not really a problem. If you don't want to pay somebody to come help, then you need to do it. That's it. That's it. If you're the one with the problem, then you should be the one at least initiating it. If you find yourself initiating too much, or being the one always worried about it, then that's when you need to have the discussion, or come up with a list, come up with a plan. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of resolutions to these would-be problems that are not really problematic enough for them to be as problematic as they are. And I'm just mentioning it because I don't know that I'll ever be able to relate to this, not even in the future. I don't plan on living with anybody. The plan is for me to be able to pay somebody, every so often to come in and help a sister out. So I got to go make some money. That's what I got to do. This whole idea, you know how they be like, oh, you just want, you can't, listen. They worried about whether or not you're a gold digger, and the nigga can't even buy you a shovel. Okay, I got to come with my own shovel. Fine. But yeah, there's no gold digging when there's no gold at all. You know what I mean? And so it's like, let's be for real. Let's be for real. But ultimately, yeah, I'm trying to make enough money in my life and lifetime coming up, you know what I mean, as I go forward, so that I can have assistance. Because I don't want to have that argument going back and forth. You know what I mean? I would want me and my boo to be chilling. You know what I'm saying? Worried about vacation, not worried about who took out the trash. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And I just don't have time for it. I'm too old to be worried about that. You know what I mean? So, but again, if I have to do it, then that's the whole reason why I'll just live alone. Or I'll pay somebody. Because I'm not going back and forth about the trash or the damn dishes. I'm not. You know? Which is why I'm making sure Sophia is being reared right now in the way that she should go. Learn how to make this pancake. Learn how to bust these dishes down. This is how you use a vacuum cleaner. She know all that stuff now. Because it's going to be, as her and I live together, it's certain cleaning I'm not doing. Because you right here. You live here. I'm not cleaning your room. You got all these dishes in your room. At 9 years old, I come to your room. You got 2 cups, 2 plates. Excellent. Put all that in a sink, and then I need you to bust these down. And I do be washing my dishes first. When I go to her room and see she got a lot of stuff in there, I'm going to train her up the way she should go. I go downstairs, let me wash my dishes, and leave it nice and empty for her. Now, clean up your room. She put all her stuff in there. Okay, and now clean up them dishes. Since you let them pile up, it would be different if, like, I'm washing dishes and she brought a dish down. That's fine. I go in her room. It's dishes, all type of dishes in there. Excellent. I give you something to do. And that's just that. But yeah, there is no such thing as women's work. If you believe that, then you can. But the question is, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not, right? Is that what's being done at your house? You know, you got somebody busting suds and cooking and cleaning for you? Or do you just believe that's what's supposed to happen? Because your belief about it doesn't mean anything if that's not actually happening. But more importantly, you're wasting your time if you don't got nothing like that going on and think that at this age, you get ready to get somebody to start doing that. We're not in our 20s. We're not even in our 30s. So yeah, a lot of us are stuck in our ways. Certain ways can use to be changed. Other ways, it is what it is. You know, everybody just wants to be accepted. That's really all it is. And so, and it's okay if you don't accept it. If you don't accept it, you don't accept it. You know? And so this idea that you'll be single and all of that, you just got to be fine with that. Be fine with it. You know what I mean? Because a part of deconstructing is knowing that you're going to be probably single or having to go through all this drama about cooking and cleaning and gender roles. And if you could just accept that, okay, I'm not doing it. And if that means that I'm not going to have this in place, then I won't have that in place. I know right now, personally, I don't care. You know what I mean? Because I don't have the desire, the bandwidth, none of that. I'm not really trying to go through a lot with nobody right now when it comes to dumb shit like that. I want to be arguing about whether we going, to Turks or Curacao. That's what I want. That's what I want us to go back and forth about. How many days we gonna stay? You know what I mean? Are we gonna leave in the morning or at night? But certainly not about who did the dishes. Okay? When we get back to the house, the dishes should be clean. Since they were clean before we left. But anywho, let me get back in. Let me get in for today. Today's Tuesday. Don't let nobody piss you off today. Every day is different, as we know, and you just never know. They want to have pizza for lunch, and that's pissing me off because I don't like when they try to take my lunch. But hey, I'm Maxine Waters out here. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm going to get my pizza. Don't get me wrong. But I'm still taking lunch outside of that. Okay? Because that's the way to try to keep me inside the building. No. But anywho, y'all have a good day. Don't let nobody piss you off. If they do, you already know. Pull them to the side. Pull them to the side. Say what you got to say. Cuss their ass out if you need to. And then it'll be your word against theirs. I say that, and that still will be true. It'll boil down to who you believe. when the information finally comes out, who do you believe? Who do you believe? But anywho, y'all have a good day today, and I will try to see if I don't see y'all on Wednesday or Thursday, because Lord knows I'll be sleeping in at 7:30 since I'm able to. But that doesn't mean I won't try to come by noon or something like that, because I have to take a couple of hours off tomorrow. And then I don't know if I'm going to be, working a full day on Friday as usual. So we'll see. We will see. As long as I got leave and sick time, it's going to get used. It's going to get used. I'm nobody's martyr. I'm going to use my time. That's a part of my benefits package. and I like benefits. All right, y'all have a good day today, and talk to y'all later.